Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from SimpleProgrammer.com. So I got this question about negotiating with two companies. I've talked about the idea of negotiating a few times. I'm trying to think if I've done videos. I'm sure that I've done some on like negotiating your salary, and I definitely have a blog post you can check out. Probably my most popular blog post on negotiating that you can check out here on negotiating your salary. But I haven't really talked about the topic of negotiating between two companies, at least not that I recall here. So anyway, I got this email and it says, "Hi John, big fan. One topic of my interest would be how to negotiate with two companies at the same time. For example, my contract is ending in 2 months and I've started to look for new opportunities, but depending on the recruiting policy, one company might come with an offer faster than the other. But I'd like to be able to compare both offers and pick the best, obviously. By the way, a faster answer than a chapter in a new book would be much appreciated. Thanks in advance." So, well, let's see. When did you send this? September of 2015. I'm probably giving you about the same speed as if I would have wrote this in a book. But anyway, at least I'm answering it. It's probably too late for you, but maybe it'll help someone else. So here's the thing. There's a couple of things that you could do here. And what I would advise is, first of all, if you're planning this ahead of time, then plan your schedule. Like, you got to set this up. If you want to entertain multiple offers and do that whole thing, you got to make it so that your schedule is set up that way. So set up your job search and your interviews so that you have the offers, the interviews and the offers coming in at the same time as much as you can. But beyond that, one thing that you can usually do is a big mistake, I think, rookie mistake that a lot of people make is they get an offer and then they're like, oh crap, I got to get back to them right away. But have you ever noticed how companies don't do that, right? Like, you go for an interview and they don't tell you the results of the interview for like weeks. I've had companies where they got back to me like a month and a half later and I'm like, dude, do you really think that that I'm just like without a job for a month and a half while I'm waiting for you to get back to me? So, but my point is, like, you're not getting extended that same courtesy. Don't assume that you got to like flip back an offer super quick. That's not true. Instead, what you can do is, you can basically, when your first offer comes in, then you can sit on the offer and you can, as long as you give people information, you say, hey, look, I have this other offer that's coming in and I want to have my options, so I want to wait for it. I think you have a great company. I'd love to work for you, but I'm an intelligent person and I like to know what my options are before making a decision. I'm sure that you made a careful decision when you chose to give me an offer, so I would appreciate if you would give me the same courtesy of making the best choice for me as well. So as long as you word it right, then most of the time a company is not going to go from wanting to hire you to saying, oh, well then, if you don't want to take our offer immediately, then we're just going to take it off the table. The other thing that you can do to buy time is, of course, which you should be doing anyway, which is you never should take the first offer. If someone gives you an offer, you should be counter-offering with a higher number, right? Almost every single time. Even if it's better than what you expected to get, counter. That's going to buy you time. It's going to take them time to come back with a counter, and you can counter again in that time. I mean, most of the time, I never heard of a job that didn't survive 2 counters. Now, 3 could be pushing it. They might say, yeah, screw you, we're done. We're not going to play this game with you. But you can always get 2. And if you bide your time, if you wait a couple of days before you give the counter, and it takes them a couple of days, right? That can let the other offers come in. Just don't jump. Don't be like, oh, I got an offer, so I better go jump on it and respond to it right away. Space out the time, and then and be upfront. If you need to, just say, look, I'm waiting for an offer from this company, point blank. That might even help your negotiation. Don't make it up. Don't lie. But at the same time, you can give that information out, and that's going to be helpful to you. So yeah. So I think that probably suffices to answer that question there. It's a tricky situation. Don't get caught also, playing companies against each other. You have to always be willing to walk away. One of the things that can happen to you, and that often happens to people who try to play people against each other or companies, which I'm not judging, I'm not saying that's wrong. I totally have done it, and I would do it. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with trying to get the best offer that you can. Is that you could lose both. It happens, all right? It happens with relationships. It happens with companies, so you just got to be willing to accept that. But you should have that attitude. You should be willing to walk away from any situation that does not suit you. If you have that attitude, you're going to go a lot further than you will being cautious and scared all the time. So anyway, hope that helps you. If you have a question for me, email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com. And if you like the video, if you haven't subscribed already, come on, what are you doing? Subscribe to the channel. Talk to you next time. Take care.